We're going to start with Hunter Biden, the president's son, pleading not guilty to federal gun charges. He is facing 3 counts, 2 for making a false statement and giving false information when buying a firearm, and another for having a gun while using drugs. If convicted, he could possibly face prison time, with each charge carrying a maximum sentence of 5 to 10 years.
That's right. Hunter Biden left his arraignment in Wilmington, Delaware, just moments ago. Now, notably to you all watching, his hearing was in the Caleb Boggs Federal Building. That name might not be familiar, but inside there, as he walked to the courtroom, he passed a large framed portrait of his father, President Joe Biden, a large presence in the state of Delaware, and of course, a large presence in our country as president. NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memoli joins us now from outside that courthouse in Wilmington, Delaware. So, Mike, first off, just take us inside that courtroom. What happened and what's the scene like there today?
Well, really the biggest headline was that there was no drama, unlike what happened here 10 weeks ago, of course. Hunter Biden appeared here in late July expecting to enter into that plea agreement his attorneys had reached with federal prosecutors related to not just the gun charges that he pled not guilty to today, but also misdemeanor tax-related charges. That plea agreement fell apart under the probing questions of the judge overseeing this case, Mary Ellen Noriega. So today what we saw was all over in just about half an hour. The judge reading through the charges, reading through the penalties, Hunter Biden's lead attorney, Abby Lowell, reiterating that he would plead not guilty, and then setting the stage for what comes next, which was going to be some pretrial motions that are going to be due by November 3rd. No trial date has actually been set in this case, but Hunter Biden's attorneys making it clear that one of the motions that they're going to be filing is a motion for dismissal. They view the specific gun charges that Biden faces here as unprecedented, that have never been brought in this jurisdiction before. They also face a number of constitutional challenges. So they should say that the case should never have been brought. All, of course, a big distraction for the president as he now faces re-election in less than 400 days from today.
Mike, we know Hunter Biden was also previously charged with federal tax crimes. He agreed to plead guilty to those, but then his plea deal fell apart. Federal prosecutors now preparing to recharge him sometime in this next month. What could he be facing in that tax case?
Well, this is the big question, is when will the special prosecutor, the special counsel, as he's now been deemed by Attorney General Merrick Garland, David Weiss, bring those charges? Those were some of the charges that he was to face here and plead guilty to in July. We are waiting for that to be filed, whether it's in Washington, D.C. or the state of California. Now, it's interesting as we talk about the legal cloud that still surrounds Hunter Biden. The taxes are just one of them. Today in Washington, House Republicans, who of course are moving forward with this impeachment inquiry, are actually going to be taking a transcribed interview with the U.S. attorney in the District of Columbia, asking why he hasn't cooperated with the special prosecutor in this case.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.